Here's a recap of week 1 of the Diddy trial, what the government is trying to prove, and how the defense is pushing back. Interestingly enough, both sides start by telling the jury that there are two sides to Diddy: the boisterous, larger-than-life entertainer that we all know, and then the side that the public never saw. The government, though, focused entirely on the dark side, the Diddy that beat Cassie in an elevator lobby as she tried to leave an alleged freak-off. They say he preyed on her when she was 19 years old, trapping her into a predatory 10-album deal, killing her career, and spent years consumed by his depraved sexual fantasies. Cassie testified that Diddy introduced her to hard drugs and forced her to perform sex acts with male escorts that she had to find on sites like Craigslist, Backpage, and through escort services. She says these freak-offs would last for days and recalled a time where Diddy and a male escort were standing over her, urinating on her face while she choked. The recovery would also take days, hooked up to an IV. She described beatings and jealous rampages, including one incident where Diddy allegedly stomped on her face in the back of a black car for speaking to another man. Sometimes she says Diddy would get violent simply for making the wrong facial expression. When all was said and done, she says his security team and team of assistants cleaned it all up. Prosecutors ending their questioning with a moment that stopped the room and left one juror in tears. Cassie told the court that 5 years after leaving Diddy, after getting married, after having kids, and trying to start fresh, that she contemplated taking her own life because she said the pain and the trauma was too much to bear. But Diddy's defense team, comprised of some of the top trial attorneys in the country, are pushing back. First, they say that this was a toxic, volatile, but loving relationship, and that this case is a domestic violence case, not a sex trafficking case. They're not denying that Diddy was violent or that he abused substances, but they're saying at its core, this was a relationship that had its ups and downs. And they also were trying to tap into something more universal with a jury of 8 men and 4 women. They zeroed in on the jealousy and infidelity in the relationship on both sides. And despite the 17-year age difference, the defense says that Cassie was no ordinary 21-year-old when she got with Diddy. She was someone who already had money, access to powerful men like former Sony executive Tommy Mottola, Mariah Carey's ex-husband. And she was already experienced in dating older men. And just like she cheated on her boyfriend at the time, music producer Ryan Leslie, to get with Diddy, she also cheated on Diddy with men in the entertainment industry. He was furious and suspicious of men like Kid Cudi, Michael B. Jordan, Chris Brown. They also say that Cassie had her own jealousy streak, envious of his relationship with Kim Porter, and so desperate to be his official girl. The defense showed text messages from Cassie to Diddy where she said that she, quote, can't wait to do a freak-off, and that she wanted to do it, quote, for the rest of their lives. Through their line of questioning, the defense argued that these sexual encounters were consensual, consistent of a swingers lifestyle, a rock star lifestyle. They also pushed back on claims that Diddy killed her career, saying quite the opposite, pointing to the fact that the only reason that an up-and-coming artist like her was able to collaborate with Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, Pusha T is because of Diddy. They also brought up that infamous 106 in Park performance where, in her own words, she said she bombed and Diddy helped her recover from, insinuating that maybe her career didn't take off because she didn't have what it took. They also pointed out that her pattern of infidelity continued right into her current relationship. This, as her now husband sits in the courtroom, questioning her about a moment where Alex Fine was FaceTiming her at 3 a.m. while she's in bed with Diddy. And finally, they brought up her drug use outside of Diddy and hinted that money troubles may have been the real motivation for filing that lawsuit.
Federal trial of Sean Diddy Combs is more than a legal proceeding against a music mogul. It's a profound examination of power, control, and accountability within the entertainment industry. As we delve into the details, it is evident that this case transcends individual allegations, reflecting broader societal issues. Combs faces serious federal charges, including sex trafficking by force, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. If convicted, he could face a life sentence. The prosecution alleges that Combs orchestrated a criminal enterprise over 2 decades, using his influence to coerce women into participating in drug-fueled sex parties, often referred to as freak-offs. These events were allegedly marked by manipulation, violence, and exploitation. Central to the prosecution's case in the testimony of Cassie Ventura, Combs' former girlfriend, over 4 days, Ventura recounted harrowing experiences of physical abuse, sexual assault, and physical manipulation during the 11-year relationship. She described being subjected to beatings, including an incident captured on a hotel security footage, and detailed how Combs exerted control over her personal and professional life. Supporting Ventura claims, singer Dawn Richard testified about witnessing Combs assault Ventura with a skillet and issuing threats to silence her. Richard also described Combs' routine carrying of a Louis Vuitton bag filled with drugs and birth control, indicating a pattern of behavior aimed at facilitating these alleged freak-offs. The defense counters this allegation by portraying the relationships as consensual and part of a swinger lifestyle. They argue that the testimonies are motivated by financial gain and career grievances. However, the consistency and corroboration among multiple witnesses present a compelling narrative of systemic abuse. This trial is not just about Sean Combs, it's a reflection of how power can be misused in industries that often lack oversight. It challenges us to consider the mechanism that allows such behavior to persist and the importance of holding influential figures accountable. As the proceedings continue, the outcome will have significant implications for the entertainment world and beyond, potentially setting precedents for how similar cases are handled in the future.